What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you guys can see, we got cars. We got Tony's car. We got this police Camaro from here in Santa Barbara. Pretty cool. But so you guys can see, obviously still no Ruby because we've been super busy with work and there's just delays on top of delays. And the last update you guys got was we bought the fully built motor, but ever since then I have not had the chance to go over to work on the car. So today we're finally going to be able to work on the car. But according to Rudy, there's something going on with the air suspension. So I'm like, oh, we're going to try to fix that today since we're going to be heading over. And then I need to swap out all the shiny stuff from my old motor to the fully built motor. So, you know, it still looks show presentable, but we're going to be doing that today. All right, we are here. We got Ruby out here. I'm gonna unload a couple things first. And you guys remember the last time we left off, we had also painted the engine bay. It's all blacked out. It's a little dusty right now, but quick little power wash and the thing will look like brand new again. And then right here we have the fully built motor that we need to strip apart all the stock stuff. Previous owner of this motor had like painted these valve covers in gold. Same with the cam covers, but we need to strip it all apart. It came with the alternator, the starter, literally everything with it. So we need to get it back stripped down to the bare motor. All right, so we're basically done with the majority of the accessories stripped apart. And one thing I noticed is that it's got a polished timing cover, which it's hard to see. It's got some oil leaks because of the gaskets around here. These cam covers are right here. They're leaking oil. And this one specifically, this one's really leaking oil. But since this is leaking oil, it covered all this in black. But it does have a polished timing cover on there. But we're gonna be taking it off and we're gonna be putting mine on because this is pretty dirty and I don't want to deal with all the cleaning. And regardless, we got to take that oil pan off, so might as well get everything resealed, looking clean the way it's supposed to be. All right, so right here we have my original engine, the one that has 250,000 miles. It's got the turbo manifolds on there, the turbos, both of them. So last update with this, we were gonna slap it back in. The turbos got rebuilt, so the turbos are basically brand new now, fully rebuilt. So you guys can see even the back end of it looks like it's brand new. They powder coated it, or I'm not sure exactly what it is that they did to this, but it's not looking all rusted like how it is up here. They fixed all that, made it look nice. So turbos are new, valve covers are new. These are the painted ones, the ones that you can see that have that glossy black look to it. So that's going on the new motor, all the shiny stuff, the polish power steering, the polished alternator, the polished brackets. All the brackets here are polished up. The timing cover's polished. These are powder coated in the illusion purple. Same with these. These I technically don't have to take off. They should come off when I take the timing cover off. But we're gonna tear all this apart, including the manifolds, the turbos, so we can swap everything over to the new one. All right, so we got the engine fully stripped apart, but we were gonna start throwing everything on this thing, making it look all nice. But instead, what I'm gonna end up doing is taking this over to the machine shop that's up in front of my shop. So I'm taking this back home with me, along with my engine, take the rest of this shiny stuff. Majority of the stuff we have over there on that table. Right here, the turbos, the manifolds, alternator, all the shiny stuff that is gonna be going onto the new engine. And then we got all the old stuff down there. But we're gonna take this engine and the other engine, and I want the machine shop to actually thoroughly inspect this engine because I trust them on making sure everything's legit. We have no issues anywhere before we throw this thing in there. So I'd rather be 110% sure before we throw this in there because we don't want to be pulling out the engine a third time. So we're gonna load this up and head on back home. All right, so we're finally back at the shop. We ended up loading up all the stock parts from this motor and all of my parts from this motor. Majority of the parts, my parts, are in the inside the trunk. I think this is just the wiring harness and the power steering because it leaks. I have my original intake right there too, that I'm not sure if I might end up selling it or keep it. I'm not sure because that Furuki intake is pretty hard to find. But right now, what the plan is going to be, I mean, it's just funny how we have and then there were 3. So now I got 3 rev up motors here at the shop. So this is my original one, the built one, the one that does not work at all. So I'm gonna send this one to the machine shop that's right here in front of my shop right here. So these guys are gonna take care of it for me. They're gonna strip it down, make sure everything is legit and ready to go, because we did find a little bit of metal shavings in the oil pan, which is not good. That's the reason why we just ended up loading all this stuff up, because we didn't want to finish swapping everything over and then get the car up and running and then just for it to go to shit again and having to pull the motor out a 3rd time. So brought the motor over. They're gonna tear it down, make sure everything's good, check all the seals, all the rods, the pistons, etc., make sure it is 100% before we actually start swapping all this stuff over to this one. So I mean, now I got 3 motors to mess around with. If we have to rebuild the heads, we'll rebuild the heads too. I'm not sure exactly what that metal shaving was coming from, so that's why we're here. But once we have this engine done and ready to go, we're gonna assemble it with the turbos, the manifolds, everything, get it 100% looking nice, polished. I might even polish that bottom upper oil pan. That bottom upper oil pan, I might get that thing polished. So I might not use that one, I might use that one instead, the one from my original motor, get it polished up, looking nice. I don't know, but I might end up having a little bit of time to actually polish things up. That's why I wanted to bring my motor too, because I can actually, since the timing cover is going to be off, I'm going to get it repolished, make it look really nice, give it that mirror finish, because it is pretty dulled up. It's shiny compared to that shiny compared to that for sure, but that one's actually polished, but I want this one looking like brand new. So that's basically it, guys. Alright, so here we have the block fully stripped. Basically, the only thing left is the little sprayers, the oil sprayers. Yeah, those little things. But Nissan, Japan. But right here you guys can see a lot of these bearings. Here we have the thrust bearings. You guys can see they're a little bit damaged. And then right here we have the rest of the bearings. You guys can see they're all damaged up. And the problem is finding out these little things that are embedded into these bearings. Where did that shrapnel come from? So that's the problem that we're trying to figure out at the moment. So we're not sure if it's coming from the sleeves, the pistons, or whatever. So maybe even the heads. So they're gonna tear all that stuff apart on Monday and check it all out. But look at that, all of them. They're supposed to be perfectly like polished up, not with all these lines going like that. So like if you run your finger through it, like which one's a perfect example? Like I guess all of them, but you could like get your fingernail caught in the grooves. So that's no bueno. So all the bearings are fucked, and they are going to be measuring out the pistons as well to make sure these are still okay. Wisco pistons. ARP.
Hi. Come on, guys. Come over.
Hey, man.
You have rock to the shop?
All right, so we are basically done for the day. Everything else is over here. We got the heads, the back timing cover, the front timing cover, the upper oil pan, and a bunch of other parts. I got my original motor sitting back there, along with the 6-piston Brembos that eventually are going to go in my car as well. And then we got the turbos right here. But so unfortunately, we did see that the bearings are bad on the fully built motor, supposedly. So now so the machine shop tomorrow is going to check it out. They're going to measure, do a bunch of measurements, make sure to see where the crank is at. And I don't know, it's just like a lot of complicated stuff that's way beyond my knowledge on building motors. So apparently it's a lot of measuring, a lot of measurements, measuring the pistons themselves, measuring the crankshaft, and I don't know what else they're going to be doing, but they're going to take all the precautions to make sure the motor is going to be fully done right, and you know, we won't have these issues again. So from their idea, they think they messed up somewhere with the bearings, I guess the measurements or something like that, and that's why it caused the wear on the bearings, and that's why the oil was looking a little sparkly right there. So as you guys saw in the little montage video, you can see how it's all scraped up and stuff. But so we're just gonna wait on what the machine shop says and then just go from there, and then hopefully everything turns out okay, and then you know, we can move forward from there. But that's gonna be the end of today's video, guys. Again, thank you guys for always supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.